All right, Coach, we're going to start with Kellen Olson with Arizona Sports and then Dwayne Rankin.
Hey, Monty, kind of hard to track back to the first half after how wild the second half got there with the crowd, but just your overall thoughts on how the game progressed as it went on.
I just thought it was one of our better defensive halves of the year against a really good offensive team. We just were relentless with our effort, our coverages, communication. It was pretty good. There were a few breakdowns, but the guys knew what the breakdowns were right when they happened. And just thought our defense carried us the whole night. And then we started knocking down shots, in the third. We had, 2 big quarters in the second half. But it was really balanced tonight. The scoring, Chris had 15 assists. But across the board, got contributions from everyone, but it was just the effort and will that I saw out there on the floor tonight, and that travels. And we're going to need that when we go to play against these guys in a couple of days.
Next is Dwayne Rankin with the Arizona Republic, and then Jovan Buha.
Coach, I know obviously, you say games take a life of their own. When did you get the sense that you guys were locked in that way defensively?
We always try to come to the gym in the morning with a great deal of focus. And the guys were talking about, everything that we had reiterated yesterday. They were talking about it this morning in our walkthrough. And I think when you see the communication on the floor and you can see guys pointing to, places where they need to be, that's a good sign. I thought the play that Torrey made in transition where he, ran down, I forget who shot the ball, but tried to shoot a jump shot at the free throw line and then Torrey blocked it. Like that's a sign that we're pretty locked in on that end of the floor. So there were so many plays that happened tonight. And, it's hard to pick out one, but that one sticks out in my mind.
Next up is Jovan Buha with The Athletic, followed by Nick King.
Hey, Monty. This was the second consecutive game that all 5 starters were in double figures, and your starting group has played more minutes together than any lineup this season. So I'm just curious, what has that continuity done for you guys, and what type of growth have you seen throughout the season with this group just getting better and better, particularly the starters?
Well, it's hard to point out one thing. I think it's an unselfish group. They're willing to make plays for each other. We share the ball. That's part of our DNA. And, it helps to play together for a long period of time. We don't have the experience that a lot of the playoff teams have, but we've had this year to gel. And we've had a lot of close games at home and on the road, so that helps. But I think having Mikhail and D.A. and Book together in our system for 2 years certainly speeds up that process. And Jay and Chris, those guys can pretty much play with anybody.
Next is Nick King with Channel 3, Channel 5, and then Catherine Fitzgerald.
Monty, you're just talking about the play that Torrey had, and he missed kind of a tip-in opportunity before he runs down to get the block. And then it leads to a Dario 3. And a couple minutes before that, Cam Johnson had driven, got blocked at the rim, chased down, got the steal. You guys come down, it leads to a Dario dunk. You kind of hit on it, but those types of plays, just what kind of value do they bring and how much do they excite you?
I don't get excited much, so I just like it when we make plays like that. We've just talked about being relentless in everything that we do and moving on to the next play. We always say, do the next right thing. So if you miss a shot or make a mistake, sprint and turn and go down and try to make a play for the team. But that's the relentless force that we feel like travels. You can take that on the road, the effort that all of our guys showed tonight. And, we understand it's a long series. We won 2 games. We can't get happy on the farm. We got to get back into the gym tomorrow, look at the film, and see what we can do better.
Next is Catherine Fitzgerald with the Arizona Republic, followed by David Brandt.
Hey, Monty, you mentioned Chris's 15 assists. To do so also with 17 points, 0 turnovers. What did you make of his night tonight? And have you seen a playoff performance like that from anyone else?
Yeah, he's just he manages games better than anybody that I've ever been around. You know, he just understands once he gets an idea of the offense and the guys he's playing with, he has the ability to use his talents to make everybody else better, and then he knows when to take over in moments. So guys have to make shots, but Chris is one of the rare guards that can put passes right where they need to be, so guys are more effective when they catch the ball. And his ability to take care of the ball, even when he has it a lot, it's not something I take for granted. Our team doesn't take it for granted. It's why he's been successful everywhere he's been.
Next up is David Brandt with the Associated Press, and then Cameron Cox.
Hey, Monty, DA got those 2 early fouls, and then he played the rest of the game without fouling. How important was it that he was still able to make his presence felt while not fouling and being able to stay on the court during important minutes?
Huge growth moment for him. He was pretty frustrated when he picked up the 2. He did a really good job of getting his emotions back to a balanced place. And then when we brought him back in, he was able to be effective without fouling. He moved his feet. He had his hands up in the air, and he did a really good job of being aware of his personal foul situation. That's a growth moment for him for sure. And to do that on that stage, and we're going to need him to have that kind of awareness when we go on the road. So I'm sure that Chris and Jay and Devin and our older guys were in his ear. And then I talked to him about just, keep your emotions intact. I get it. It's frustrating when you want to play and you pick up 2 quick ones like that. But I thought he did a really good job of coming back in the game and being really effective on both ends of the floor without picking up a foul.
Next is Cameron Cox of 12 News, followed by Greg Moore.
Monty, your team has always played with a level of confidence kind of all year, even when things are tough. They bounce back pretty well. How would you describe the level of basketball they're playing right now?
I mean, we're just trying to play the right way and for each other. We try to play hard every single night. That's who we are. That's our DNA. Our guys share the ball. I think the thing that's really cool to watch is guys making plays for each other. But this is playoff basketball, and that's how we have to play for us to be successful. We know if we play hard, share the ball, and defend, we give ourselves a chance to win. I'm grateful for getting 2 wins at home. Now we got to get ready for a tough challenge on the road.
Final 2 questions are Greg Moore with the Arizona Republic and David Chinelato.
Thank you. Coach, congratulations on the great win. Thanks for taking so many questions. Greg Moore, Arizona Republic. Coach, when you talk about playing the right way, does that have to do with offensive diversity and being able to score at all 3 levels, 2-point shots at the rim, 3-pointers, and not being overly reliant on any one element of the game?
I think it's all of the things you said. It's also setting a screen for your teammate to get them open. It's also sprinting back in transition so that someone doesn't have to guard your man and their man. Those are things that we talk about, playing the right way. It's not just offense and making the right pass. It has a lot to do with boxing out so that we can, get the rebound after playing defense hard for 14, 15 seconds. So we try to do the best we can in that regard. And as I've said before, we have guys who are unselfish and want to play for each other.
Final question is David Chinelato from Italy.
Hey, Coach, congrats for the win. Going back to Chris, is he, you've been together for a while now. You've known him since, his New Orleans days. Is it surprising you, the level he is playing right now? Or did you expect him to be this good even at 36?
I would never doubt Chris, that his ability to manage the team, his track record has success all over it. And everywhere he's been successful. So he works his tail off. So yeah, he's 36 years old, but he's doing a lot of stuff off the floor so that he can be effective on the floor, from diet to the weight room to all the people that work on his body. And he's a mentally tough human being. So I'm just grateful that I get to, be around him and all of our guys. With all that being said, we have a lot more work to do. And I'm sure if he were sitting right here, he'd say the same thing. Like, we won 2 games. We got to get ready for a tough game the next time we step on the floor.
Thank you for the time, Coach.
Thank you.